You know deep down that you are broken, that there is a fundamental defect, a fissure in the core of your existence. You carry this feeling of not being good enough with you like a shadow, a constant quiet hum under the noise of your day. It says, I am not enough. I need to be fixed. And that's why you've spent so much of your life trying to fix yourself. You have read the books. You have paid attention to the guides. You have tried to be more confident, more disciplined, more social, and more something. You have tried to smooth out your rough edges, calm down your strange worries, and show the world a version of yourself that might finally be seen as whole. But every time you think you've fixed one part, another one seems to break. The fatigue from this constant self-repair is very deep. The deepest tiredness a person can feel is the tiredness of thinking you are a mistake that needs to be fixed before you can just be. When you look at other people, they seem to be whole without any effort. You alone feel like a problem that needs to be fixed. This is the main pain. This is where it all begins. But take another look. Take a look at the world you are trying so hard to fit into. What do you see? You see a world of people who are sleeping, a world of frantic and worried performance. People chase shadows on a wall, sure that the next promotion, purchase, or like will finally give them the meaning they want. They are moving, always on the go. They were running away from the silence and from themselves. Pay attention to them. Their conversations are full of complaints, gossip, and the short-lived joy of feeling better than someone else. They make groups based on the people they don't like. They don't define themselves by who they are, but by what they own, what they believe in, and what they hate. They are playing a very good and very bad game. A game where the rules are hidden, but the decisions are always the same. A game with masks, a game of being fake. They are scared of being seen for who they really are, so they put all their energy into polishing the mask. You have to play with them too. They need your clapping. They need you to say yes. They need you to tell them that what they think is real. This is the world of sleep. It's very loud. It is certain, and it's all based on a shared dream of nothingness. They aren't bad people. They are just sleeping. They are stuck in the mechanism. But you are starting to wake up. You are no longer playing. It didn't happen all at once. It was a slow, quiet turning away. You were in the middle of a conversation hearing the noise, and then you realized you didn't have anything to say. You watched them chase their prizes and felt nothing. No jealousy, no wish. Just a deep, quiet feeling of distance. You started to pull back. You stopped trying to win their fights. You no longer needed to prove your point. You stopped giving reasons for your actions. You just stopped talking. You started to watch. And from that observation, you began to see. You can see the game. You are not crazy. You don't have a cynical view. You are just seeing. You see how badly they need something even though they're angry. You can see how scared they are even though they are sure. You can see the void they are all trying to fill with noise. You can see that their whole world is a show, a frantic dance to avoid the one thing you are starting to embrace. The calm, raw, unfiltered truth of what is. This retreat of yours doesn't mean you lost. Not social anxiety. It is not a failure to connect. It is the rise of wisdom. You are the model of someone who has woken up, the person who quietly puts the game pieces down, the person who leaves the bonfire of vanities not out of anger, but because they are no longer cold. You are the one who has stopped trying to get approval from people who don't even look at themselves. Your silence is not empty. It is full of seeing. Your distance does not mean you are alone. It is what you need to see clearly. You don't need their applause anymore. You don't worry about what they think of you anymore. And this has made you very, very hard for them to understand. You aren't following the rules anymore, and by doing so, you show the game for what it really is. This is the first major turning point, the moment you understand that you are not broken. You are awake in a world that is still dreaming. And now that you're awake, you're a problem. They need to figure out how to understand you. The sleeping mind can only understand things that threaten its sleep by calling them sick. They see how quiet you are. They call it depression. They look at how you see things. They call it paranoia. when you don't want to play. They call it arrogance. They see how deep your feelings are, how easily you can be moved, and how well you can see the pain and beauty they don't see. People say you're too sensitive. And when you're at your most vulnerable, when you feel like you don't belong, they give you the worst label of all. They look at you and agree with what scares you the most. They say, you are broken. Pay close attention to this. When a lower level of consciousness tries to judge a higher one, it has to use the language of pathology. It is a way to protect yourself. Your clear thinking is a threat to their comfortable lies. Your honesty shines a bright light on their polished masks. Your calm acceptance of who you are shows how frantic and empty their actions are. They have to make you sick. They have to say you're flawed, inadequate, or broken, because the only other choice is to admit that their own lives are built on a shaky foundation. They have to make you the problem, so they don't have to deal with the scary thought that they are the ones who are lost, that they are the ones who are not connected, that they are the ones who are very, very asleep. That word, broken, doesn't mean you're sick. It is a sign of their weaknesses. That label, too sensitive, doesn't mean that your feeling is wrong. It shows how numb they are. That label, inadequate, doesn't say anything about your worth. It shows how shallow their values are. You are not crazy. You can see their game. And you are not broken. You are just awake. You've spent your whole life trying to fix something that was never broken. You were trying to get rid of a sickness that was actually the first sign of your own deep health. Let's get rid of their labels then. Let's stop using their language for a second. Instead, let's talk about the truth. Let's look at what they call flaws and see them for what they really are. This is not a hypothesis. This is a straightforward observation. These are the three great truths of the real soul. 1. What they call oversensitivity is really clarity. You are not too sensitive. You are just noticing things. The world of the sleepers is based on a group decision not to see the fear that lies behind the bravado, not to hear how desperate the casual talk is, not to feel the deep sadness of a world that has lost touch with its own heart. They have built strong walls, filters, and defenses to keep the raw, unfiltered truth of reality from getting to them. They live in a world that is quiet. You don't. Your sensitivity is the simple, brave, and sometimes painful ability to see and feel what is really there. You get the point. You can feel the mood in a room. You see that it's not real. This isn't a flaw. It is a tool for deep understanding. It is not a flaw. It is a consciousness with a lot of detail. You don't need to be less sensitive or toughen up. You just need to know that you are seeing the world in a way that they can't understand. In a world full of hammers, you are a finely tuned instrument. Don't say you're sorry for being so exact. 2. What they call inadequacy is really misalignment. You feel broken or inadequate because you are comparing yourself to values that are not your own. You live in the deep sea and are trying to figure out how much you are worth by how well you can climb a tree. You feel not enough because you don't have enough of what they want. You are not loud enough. You are not shallow enough. You aren't tough enough in the game. You don't think their prizes are very good. This feeling of not being good enough doesn't mean you're not good enough. It is the most dependable internal guide you have. It is the holy, painful sign that you are out of alignment. Your soul is saying, this is not our world. These are not our values. This is not the game we are here to play. Your inadequacy shows how deep you are. It hurts a lot for a deep soul to try to fit into a shallow container. Not the soul, but the container is the problem. 3. What they mean by being broken is really the process of becoming. The world of sleep is unchanging. It holds on to rigid beliefs, solid identities, and the idea that a person is a finished thing. For them, any change, doubt, or inner questioning is a sign of instability, an error, a problem that needs to be fixed. But you are not a thing that stays the same. You are a process. You are a river, not a statue. That feeling that you need to be fixed is not a sign that you are broken. It is a sign that you are alive. It is proof that you are growing. You must shed your old skin and crack your old shell. People who are sleeping think that this sacred, changing, and often painful process of becoming is the same as being broken. You are not broken. You are unfolding. You are not flawed. You are fluid. The anxiety and discontent you feel are not a sickness. They are the energy of a new, more authentic self struggling to be born. They are afraid of this energy, but you are made of it. This is the big change. You are not a problem to be solved. You are a truth to be accepted. This is the truth, and it's a deep, life-changing one. But it's not an easy one. Taking this path, the path of clarity, alignment, and becoming, comes with a price. You need to know what this price is. The price is that you can't join in anymore. You will be at the table with them, at the party, and at the meeting. You will feel a huge, kind, and insurmountable distance. You will smile and nod, and you will play the social game on its most basic level. But you are no longer in it. You can't unsee what you have seen. And this will be a sad time. Let's not make this sound romantic. It's a holy ache. It's the loneliness of the top of a mountain. It's the loneliness of the deep ocean. It's the necessary sacred isolation of the person who has left the crowd. You will hear them complain about things that don't matter, and you won't have anything to say. You will see them chase prizes that look like paper to you, and you won't want to join the race. You will hear them pathologize other people, and all you will see is their fear. They will feel uneasy if you don't say anything. They will think you don't care if you stay calm. If you don't get involved in their dramas, they will think you're judging them or being rude. They will try to get you back by asking, "What's wrong?" They will say, "You've changed." They will say, "You're not fun anymore." What they really mean is, "You don't make our illusions come true anymore. You don't make our sleep comfortable anymore. We don't like what your quiet wakefulness shows us." You have to be okay with being misunderstood if you want to be clear. You need to be ready to mourn the loss of the hope that they would see you again. The last step of this journey is realizing that you don't need them to. You need to be your own witness, your own proof, and your own source of comfort. The path isn't lonely because you're flawed. It's lonely because it's yours and yours alone. You're no longer walking in the shared, crowded dream. You're walking in your own quiet, unique reality. And so, now is the time for you to give yourself the one thing you've always wanted. You have to let yourself do it. You don't need to fix yourself anymore. You are not a broken machine. You are a living, changing process. Let yourself change. You don't have to talk all the time. You don't have to have an opinion on everything. You don't have to explain why you're at peace. You can leave. You can leave arguments that wear you out, people who want you to be small, and conversations that are just noise. You don't have to win. You just have to be honest. You can let them down. This is the best part. You can be the disappointment in the room. You don't have to follow the script, want what they want, or play the game. Their disappointment is a sign of their expectations, not a sign of your worth. You can trust your oversensitivity. It is a compass that will lead you away from what is false and toward what is real. You can find deep, world-changing meaning in things that people call nothing. The way the light hits a wall, the feeling of your own breath, the silence between two thoughts. This is not checking out. This is at last checking in. You can stop climbing their ladders, which lead to rooms you don't want to be in. You are finally free to be so deeply, unapologetically, and quietly yourself that just being there is an act of rebellion against the world that is asleep. You are not something that needs to be fixed. You are something that needs to be lived. And that is the end of your journey. If this path of returning to authenticity speaks to you, please subscribe and turn on notifications so that we can keep walking together and learning more. Now, let the noise of the world go away. Let the frantic energy of them fade into the background. You don't have to fight them, judge them, or wake them up. That's not your job. All you have to do is be you. Your job is to honor the clarity you have been given. Your job is to live in line with the depth you have found. Your job is to accept the beautiful, messy, and sacred process of becoming who you are. Take your time and be quiet. That paranoia you always had, it was never paranoia. It was, and still is, your vision. And that deep, painful, hidden fear that you were broken was, and still is, the proof of your wholeness that cannot be broken. Be still. The game is over, and you can just be.